Hi, everybody. I know I haven't been here on this site in quite a while. It's been kind of a chaotic year, but I wanted to come on and take a few minutes to talk about travel. I know this is a food channel, but today I want to talk about travel and my experiences with international travel during the past year. I went last winter, I traveled internationally and it was my first time. Excited to use my passport and all that, and found out there were layovers, so it wasn't just like a straight shot. Which even if it were a straight shot, it would have been an 8 hour straight shot. But flew for 8 hours, got to the Netherlands, had to stay there for 8 hours, then get on the next flight to take me 1 hour to the rest of the way up so I could make my destination. Through different airports, there were different expectations. In my home airport, I had to take off my shoes and everything, and you're raising up your arms, and there's this machine spinning around you, checking you out, um, just to see if everything's okay, I guess. Then you go through and meet with customs people as they're x-raying your bag, looking at your passport, looking at you without the glasses on because, can't have your glasses on while they're looking at you. They have to actually see everything. Hair shouldn't be in your face, just like if you get your passport photo, your hair can't be in your face. There can't be shadows in your picture. Um, they want to know where you're going, why are you going there, how long you expect to be there, blah 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 blah. Have you do you have accommodations ready whenever you get there? You have a hotel room. Do you have how will you be paying for your food and your whatnot? All of that. So I went through that whole process. Flew from one destination and got to the Netherlands, and they had a silent hotel. I mean, not hotel, silent airport, and signs everywhere saying it's a silent airport. And I, only heard the pitter patter of feet as people were running from one location to another when they found out that their flight had been changed from one gate to another. So I quickly figured things out and found where my new gate would be at. Then I went and did a little shopping in the airport. I had 8 hours. 8 hours after being on a flight for 8 hours with someone that was like pulling at my pockets and behaving rather weirdly on the plane. Um, Not to mention the kids that were sitting in the row behind me, kicking the back of my seat until I was able to reach um, some airline hosts and hostess to talk to the family members of the children and talk to the woman who was pulling at my pocket. Eventually, things calmed down. Flight went good. I make it to my destination. Yay for that. It was lovely. It really was lovely. But I was tired. 8 hour flight, 8 hours in the Netherlands, another hour flight. So when I landed, all I wanted was to get in a hotel. Had to find where to catch the taxi. Had the taxi take me to the hotel. Happily got to the hotel and I crashed for the night because I was exhausted. In that whole process, though, of going through all the screening and everything, I learned about the things that are important to take and not to take on the flight. Of course, you're going to want to have your toiletries and things. If you can get one of those handy kits that everything fits in. And yeah, mine looks a little crazy in the kit, but everything fit and it's clear. So it's easy and they can see it all. Toothbrush, toothpaste, 3 ounces or less. That doesn't mean a big tube that you squeeze part of it out of, because they will take and they will throw that in the garbage. So you don't want that. And if you're visiting those nice shops in the airport that sell those lovely large bottles of cologne and lotion and everything, if you pay for something that has more than 3 ounces in there, they don't care that you just bought it in the airport. They're going to take that thing and throw it away. And I get it. Some people think, oh, they're not throwing it away. They're just putting it in the garbage lightly, and then when you're gone, they're going to take it and put it in their bag and take it home. Probably not. They don't know what you've been doing with that stuff. And have you seen any airline security videos out there? People do some bizarre stuff to try to bring illegal things from one place to another. They have to protect themselves and their families just as they do for those that are on the flight. So when they're throwing it away, there is a process for putting it where it belongs and taking it so it can truly be destructed. So don't waste your money on things that you're not going to be able to carry through and through. You know, if you want to buy that $100 bottle of cologne, you might want to consider how it's going to get to its destination, or wait and order it, or mail it if you can mail it from somewhere there in the airport, so that you're not losing out on what you spent your money on. Using the overnight bag worked very well for me. I know a lot of people prefer to use the large bags and they're rolling this and rolling that. I can roll an overnight bag too. You know, the weekender type bag. I take my pants, fold them in half, do the army roll, roll them up nice and small, like a little burrito, stick it down in the bottom of the bag, and put all your pants in like that. Do the same with any tops that you have and all the other items that you have. And your bag really, if you're only going to be there 4 or 5 days, you should be able to get a lot in there fairly easily. If you're going to wear yoga pants, wear those yoga pants. They're not going to wrinkle, that's for sure. And if you've got polyester tops, then you won't have to worry about them wrinkling. If you're looking to wear something fancy or make a certain impression, do what you have to do. I'm sure it'll work out for you. But those are some things that I've been thinking about. But one thing, just want to add for anybody planning on doing any traveling this fall or this winter, if you're doing a long distance travel where you're stuck in a seat for hours and hours and hours and not able to get up and move around a lot, your legs are going to get tired. Wiggle your toes or buy compression socks or both. Compression socks help with the circulation in your legs. Wiggling the toes is also good for you, because I'm telling you, if you're sitting there and you're in an Airbus that has like 200 seats that are filled to the max, everybody's not getting up walking around like they're at the mall. It's just not happening. I apologize for the horn honking outside my window. Somebody's car alarm is going off. But compression socks are an easy thing to take care of your own physical abilities to get around. There's men, women, and unisex brands. And there are light and moderate and firm compression socks, depending on what you're used to. So that's something else to consider. Sorry, that horn is still going. But I just wanted to share one more thing really quickly for you all, for anyone that's interested. If you're doing any sort of international travel, remember that there are differences in the kinds of wall outlets from what's used in America. Like if you're going to Europe, Middle East, Asia, or some parts of Africa or the Caribbean, you may want to use something like these, which these were on sale at Target. And I'm not monetized by Target or anyone, but it was a good deal, and it was a 3-pack. And on my next trip, I plan to go with a group, and I thought that'll make things easier for them. There's also other brands like this one that I got from, I got it on Amazon. What's nice about this one is that it has room for a bunch of USB plugs, USB-C for Apple that you use for like Apple products or different phone. This one you can change. That's the American type of plug. There's, different ones like for the British type, and then Paris or other places. And on the front side, you have all of these options as well. I think, I got that one off of Amazon. And this is another one, but I think I got this from Walgreens. And just use the American plug in the front as the European adapter piece in the back. So you have lots of options. But if you're planning on using your phone to communicate, or a tablet or iPad, or, it would be good to have one or two or more adapters so that you can be comfortable and be able to do everything that you need to do while you're away from home. Well, thanks for joining me for these few minutes. I will share more on another update, hopefully soon. So that way, if you're planning on doing any traveling soon, you can be prepared for that. Because preparation is not only for at home, it's also for away from home. Talk to you soon.